Hey fellow coders, in this video, I want to show you what it's like to transition from the Aider terminal tool to the AiderDesk desktop application. I won't be covering all the features you can get in AiderDesk, like IDE integration, MCP servers, or the usage dashboard, since you can find more information on those in our other videos and documentation. Instead, I'd like to show you the specific settings from Aider you might already be familiar with, and how you can configure AiderDesk to fit your needs. First of all, AiderDesk is a full desktop application. So, if you prefer working in a terminal, AiderDesk might not be for you, but feel free to watch anyway. You might change your mind. When working with Aider, you may have already set up some preferences in Aider's configuration or environment files. If so, you don't need to do anything in AiderDesk. The application respects all the same configuration files, so your existing setup will work as you'd expect. Now, let's take a look at the Aider settings page to see what you can configure there. The first section, Aider Options, is where you can enter any specific options you're already using with Aider, such as setting map tokens to 0. These are the same options you would use when running Aider in your terminal. There are a few options that are handled differently in AiderDesk though. For example, you don't need to specify a model here, as you can switch between models seamlessly using the model selector. For some specific options, there are also direct checkboxes. For instance, if you don't want to commit your changes after each code modification, you can disable auto-commit of LLM changes. Or, if you are using Anthropic models, make sure you have Enable Prompt Caching checked. The Watch Files for Changes option is another one you might know from Aider. When enabled, it watches for specific comments in your files and automatically triggers a request for modifications. The last option, Confirm Before Editing Files, is AiderDesk-specific and one you won't find in Aider. When enabled, it gives you a chance to either accept or suggest different changes after the model has prepared its code modification. This gives you full control over reviewing the code before accepting the changes. And while we're here, you'll also notice another neat AiderDesk feature, the Diff Viewer. This gives you a much clearer view of code modifications while you're working. That about wraps up the Options section. The next section covers environment variables. If you're already using a .env file, you don't need to put anything here, but if not, this is the place where you can set up your API keys and any other Aider-specific variables. The last section is more AiderDesk-specific. When enabled, this option will add all rule files from your project's AiderDesk rules directory as read-only files for Aider to reference. This is useful when you have project-specific code conventions or workflows that Aider should follow. And that's it. I hope this video has given you a better understanding of how AiderDesk works for those of you coming from the original Aider tool. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below. Be sure to check the description for a link to download AiderDesk and a link to our full documentation. Happy coding!